Just noticed there are stars on my head and how crazy my hair is. I was getting ready for a job and I called the customer and she says, no, 9 a.m. I'm like, 9 a.m.? Like, that wasn't, I don't think that's what we agreed on, but whatever. So basically, I woke up really early to try to make time for the live stream and to go to the job. Then I decided to make the live stream a little bit later because I was wore the fuck out and didn't want to rush through it. And now that's what's happening, anyways. So here we are. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. As usual, enjoy seeing little sparkly dots on my head because that's what's up. Good morning, Z Oliver. Haven't seen you in a while. And hello to Kittens. Always good to see you. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Today's episode titled Good Morning, Christian, the Yap Map. This is an interesting thing that was sent to me by my kindred spirit in Tucson. The more and more this goes on, the more and more I find dog haters in my area. At first, it seemed there were none. Now it's like, hey, there's a whole bunch of people who feel the same way I do. Good morning, A-star, or afternoon in your area. So we're going to cover a couple comments and some crazy-ass dog stories, and we'll kind of ramp up into the topic today, which is the Yap Map, which I'm pretty excited about, okay? Hey, Puma, good to see you. I love the emojis. Here's a comment from Nikola Tesla. I hadn't seen him around in a while, so I was happy to see him. I'm also going to do an update about the monkeys killing 250 dogs, so we'll talk about that here in a second. But Nikola commented on, hey, AJ, good to see you. Commented on the post or the video about the monkeys. And he said, the second I heard this story and how the monkeys are now attacking humans, the first thing I immediately thought was that people getting in the way of the well-deserved extermination, or it's completely fabricated. Based off the language used in the article, it's clear that people who wrote this article are dog lovers. And as we all know, dog lovers lie all the time and don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I totally agree. Just like whenever some idiot dog gets its dumbass bitten by a poisonous snake because it thought it would be a good idea to bark in its face and bother it. These dog lovers twist it around and the headlines read, Hero Dog Saves Boy from Poisonous Snake. Then they falsely go on to say how the snake was menacingly hissing at the boy. And just as the evil snake was about to jump up and bite the boy, the hero dog jumps in just in time to absorb the snake's bite. And now the dog has a GoFundMe to pay for its vet bills because the lie gets more money than the truth, which is that the worthless dog instigated the whole thing and the boy was never in any danger from the snake in the first place. So I call BS. These people earned their reputation for the lying sacks of garbage that they are. Exactly. And, we all know Tesla, he's got a way with words. So I was real happy to see him comment on that video because this is absurd. So let's do a little update about the monkey thing. There is a lot of information flying around, and it's really hard to tell what's true and what's not because, as Nicola just pointed out, there are so many lies. I always say, they always be lying. Always. They always be lying. So in the story, as many of you had already heard, and I say it's pretty popular with people, so we don't have to spend a lot of time reiterating the story, but for any of those that would like to keep up, they claimed in the beginning that a monkey was harassing a child. It started out with that. That was their claim, okay? And that a dog, a local feral dog, jumped in to attack the monkey because it was harassing the child. Then, along the line, some of the monkeys end up killing a baby monkey, okay? Then the monkeys go on a revenge kill, that's even what they called it, and start exterminating dogs by taking them up to high areas on top of buildings and trees and tossing them down. After all of this, that they claimed that they had contacted the authorities and wanted help with the monkeys and couldn't get the help and that they couldn't capture the monkeys. Well, they're intelligent. So they couldn't capture the monkeys. Well, then the locals work to capture the monkeys. And here's where the update begins. And there were several intersecting stories about this update because they always be lying, right? So they go, one of the first updates I seen was, it was only 2 monkeys that were causing all the problems. and we caught um 2 of them. 2 of them created the whole havoc. Number 1, I'm gonna call bullshit. I looked at all those pictures. It was not just 2 monkeys. Let's start with that, okay? They said there was 2 monkeys that caused all the havoc, and we captured them, and we're going to relocate them. I don't believe any word of any of that. They're not gonna relocate, they would kill them. How did y'all catch the exact 2 monkeys causing the trouble? That's absurd, okay? And it's just the whole fucking thing. Okay, he said monkeys might fly out my ass. Exactly, T-Cat. Then I seen another update that said no, they claim it was 4 monkeys that caused the trouble and that they've captured them. And the story just keeps blowing itself out of proportion. And I want to make a good point that I was discussing with someone last week and didn't talk about live. Monkeys, these monkeys in particular, have a stronger bite force than dogs. So technically, they didn't have to take them up to high spaces and throw them down. They did that and made a point. They could have just bit down on the monkeys, killed them right on the ground where they stood. They didn't have to do all that, but they chose to. It was as if they were sending a message, or, a lot of people were calling it an extermination. And as many of us had to point out over and over again, it's so sad to see that monkeys are smarter than us when it comes to taking care of their young. Exactly, Matthew. They call this fact checking. Yeah. I call it y'all always be lying. Always. They always be lying. And it drives me fucking insane. So let's cover other small topics before we hop into all of this, okay? From the Adventures of Vox, which are some of my favorites. Not only, am I have an affinity for Vox, but I love the way he interacts with people. And we've got Christian and, the stuff that Christian does. I have a small piece to cover on that. I love the way a lot of our viewers and friends and community members handle these people. I love how we all have so many different ways of doing it. This is from some kind of dog propaganda video of which has 425 replies, and Vox is in there raising hell. And I'd have to say that he's probably alone. If anything, there might be one other person that feels the same way that he does in there, but generally, when you are going to war with these dog nuts, it's you against 10, 12, 20 people. I've had posts like that narcissism video. I can't remember exactly who sent it to me and wanted me to join in. I believe it was an older member that I blocked since now for drama reasons. And it was like 400 comments in and just nonstop people attacking me. This person says to Vox, Jesus Christ, you've been arguing with people in the comment section of a YouTube dog video of all places for 2 weeks. Turn off your notifications, go outside and touch some grass. If you so desperately must argue with people on the internet, get a Twitter account. They love that shit there. By the way, don't bother replying to me. I won't respond because I'm not some loser like you who feels the need to get the last words in by replying to everyone. Says, Vox Populi my ass. Maximi Odio more like. Okay. Vox says, well, I would argue that an estimated 78 million mutt lovers and a population of 328 million people, that yes, I do speak for the majority of civilized society. Always cracking me up with this shit. And there were so many comments in there, okay? So many comments. A-Star says they communicating with us, the stupid humans. Yeah. This was what OSPOL needed to 2014. They did monkey DNA tests and had a police monkey line up to find the guilty monkey, Christian says. And Urza says also the latest that 80 dogs were killed. Quite a difference with the math. Yeah, they're all over the place. And I was going to get into that as well, Urza, or T-Cat, whatever, multiple names in there. It's all over the place. They can't keep their fucking story straight. In 1 minute it's this, then they killed the monkeys, then they didn't. It's fucking wild. And I think a lot of this was just PR. Why are they allowed to gun down monkeys and capture them and poison them and all this shit, but dogs kill and kill and kill and kill, and no one does anything about it. This is the risk we take to have these dogs around. They want them around that bad. Matthew says dogs were also killed in Bork. Remember that? Exactly. Exactly. So, it's honestly infuriating to me. Okay. It really is. So let's hop into another story because I want to get to this thing about the Yap map. Very interesting stuff, and I know a lot of you suffer with barking dogs. In fact, one of my higher viewed videos is dogs barking. That shit sucks. And there were so many of you that didn't even make it to the live that made sure to come into the comments and share your stories about barking neighbors' dogs. In fact, while we're on the subject, let me hop in here. Hey, Isabel, good morning. And let's do a poll, all right? Because I'm sure the numbers are high. How many of you have to listen to your neighbors barking dogs? And please, in the comments, be specific if you'd like. Tell us how often. Is this a 2 or 3 time a day thing? Is this all fucking day? Is this just in the morning and at night? Feel free to be specific. But please answer the polls and remember that it's completely anonymous. I don't know who's answering. The members don't know. Nobody knows. Okay? T-Cat says, I really don't have an identity crisis. Really, I don't. Matthew says they were shit scared of the coronavirus coming from them, and you'd be pretty suspicious to not doubt that. Yeah, actually, I believe we covered that story. And it was like what they killed 15 dogs in one shelter to prevent the spread of coronavirus, and another place I think it was half a dozen or something, and then everybody just spazzed the fuck out. Okay, they lost their shit over these dogs. So here's a story for you. Radio host reveals the gruesome details of a pit bull dog attack in a suburban park and says the vicious attack has changed my life forever. Okay. Melbourne radio host has revealed the gruesome details of the moment her rescue greyhound was attacked by a vicious pit bull. Emily Power, whom is a magazine editor and radio host on 3AW, told listeners her beloved dog, fuck the name, that's its name now, fuck the name, was viciously attacked during a walk in Richmond on Friday. The pit bull had been tethered to the back of a ute in a nearby car park, but snapped the rope and lunged at its calm and unsuspecting victim. From the rope breaking and her on my dog's face, it was only a second, but it was enough time for me to think, we're going to die. How often do we have to hear this? Kids being attacked going, I don't want to die. This is a common thing for people to yell, yet we're determined to have these things in our territory, in our vicinity, in our neighborhoods. But people constantly, when it happens, within the second that the leash breaks, the moment the thing gets out of the fence. Remember that video that IHD shared with a lady? I think she was riding her bike or walking past the fence or something. And the dog's like, she's all, oh, little baby. And then it breaks out of the fence and she's like, oh, God. Like, even they know, even the dog nuts know. Okay. You hear stories about these dogs, but the level of violence is unreal. Okay. And they've got a picture of the damn dog. He's wearing an entire face brace. Fuck his name, the greyhound, because he got fucked up. The pit bull broke fuck his name's jaw during the brutal attack, with Miss Power revealing the owner of the vicious dog said nothing and made no move to help. I was on the ground with her and she was bleeding all over me and screaming, and I was screaming for help. The fellow who owned the pit bull didn't say a word to me, which was almost the most hurtful thing of all. The radio host said a good Samaritan agreed to take her and fuck her name to a local vet, despite the canine bleeding profusely. So another person, a good Samaritan that witnessed this. As we all know, it's not uncommon for these dog owners to sit back and not only watch and seem to enjoy the damage that their dogs cause, because they'll brag about it, but not do a fucking thing to help you. Okay? The radio host, fuck her name, has undergone one surgery already and is scheduled for another one on Monday. Miss Power said that Richmond police were investigating the dog attack with the help of CCTV footage, with the incident also in the hands of the council. It's changed my life forever, she admitted. I'm going to need some help feeling confident about walking her again. She's going to need help too. Miss Power had adopted this sweet 8-year-old greyhound from the Victoria-based greyhound adoption program in June of this year. Our co-host, Stephen Quartermain, said he hopes justice will take course and said the dog may have to be dealt with if it's attacking other dogs. He says, we hate to see that happen, but you can't have dogs just randomly attacking other dogs, perhaps people or even children. I hate how they always, with the rhetoric, we hate to see this happen. Not me. I'm sick of this. This comes just months after the owner of a giant American pit bull was savagely attacked and left with severe bite wounds at her rural home in Pheasant's Nest, south of Sydney, in September. Desperate neighbors were forced to beat the savage dog. Said to be the size of a miniature pony with an iron bar. We all remember that story. The powerful American Stafford Shit Terrier, reported to weigh more than 80 kilograms, tore at its owner's face. The woman's daughter and 2 neighbors had rushed over to help, but the dog turned on them, savaging the second woman, ripping her flesh from the bone, and snapping at a man that was trying to save them. In June, 4-year-old Joey Hodgins was bit in the face by a rabid dog, believed to be a shit bull or a Stafford Shit Terrier. Although Marlboro's youngest facial wounds were superficial, the Hodgins family vowed to track down the dog owner and prevent any further attacks. His mother, Danny, said she couldn't help but feel lucky her son still had a lip and a nose following this incident. The leading vet, Sydney vet, Sam Kovac, we've heard about this guy. He's the one who's openly talking about getting rid of these things, is begging for authorities to ban the breed before anyone else is killed or mauled. He stresses he doesn't want existing American Stafford Shit Terriers euthanized, but wants an immediate ban on selling, breeding, importing, or rehoming the breed. The latest attack is just history repeating itself, he tells Daily Mail Australia. Most of the time, they won't be killers, but when you're dealing with such a powerful breed that's been bred to fight and kill, when they really want to do this, nobody can do anything to fend them off. They should not be allowed to be bred in this country. The RSPCA said English Staffies and American Staffies are 2 of the 3 most commonly surrendered dogs. People are fucking tired of it. They attack everybody. They're hurting the children. It's just, fuck, here we are. Yes, and Urza says, y'all seen my barking dog's Hell World videos on Discord. I rest my case on that. Actually, how hard would it be to compile everyone's dog barking videos? Exactly. And, I'm surprised. I'm looking at the poll. We have yes at 83%. So some people live out in the middle of nowhere and don't have to deal with this. And a lot of us do. Okay, so here's one from the stuff Christian does. Now, this isn't generally the stuff that Christian does. Let's call this one the stuff that Christian wakes up to. Because this wakes up to a post on Why Are Dog People Like This? It's a group on Facebook. She says, my sister is a big pit nutter. She told me today her dog trainer informed her that if she had an unfixed male dog, she would have to relieve him, aka jack him off. Has anybody else heard about this? There are people out there doing to their male dogs? Is that why they're so obsessed with their dog's genitalia? Well, I've got news for you. Yes, absolutely. And having worked with different animals throughout the years, this is a real thing. Okay, they do encourage you to relieve the animals. If you're keeping them as breeding stock and you're not going to get them fixed, they have all kinds of issues. And it's fucking insane. Okay, it's fucking insane. Is that why some people don't cut off the balls? And you'll see people not get their critter fixed and claim that they are going to breed it and just never breed it. I'll share some wild shit I seen on one of the Facebook pages one day. This woman says, I have a female shit bull. She said pitbull, and it's highly aggressive, and I need to breed her so she can have a litter of puppies. Someone in the comments says, what? You shouldn't be breeding aggressive dogs and passing on those genetics. What are you talking about? And the woman replies back, the original poster, Duh. Let me do duh. If I breed her and she has a litter of puppies, she'll calm down. So that's all these people can think about. Good morning, Asher. They have no long term thinking. The only thing they can think about is this one dog right now. And this has led to half the issues we have today. They're not breeding for intelligence or for good nature. They're not breeding for they're not breeding for the right reasons, guys. They're breeding for aesthetic pleasantness and because they like this one dog, this one female dog that's aggressive and they cannot control themselves. No, you shouldn't breed this dog, right? In fact, if the dog's that aggressive that you're worried about it, it should be euthanized, right? Right. But no, these people go, oh, you know what I need to do? I have to jerk him off. Oh, wait a minute. I know what I have to do. I have to breed this dog so that it is not so aggressive. These people, man. So let's see some of your comments about dogs barking. Okay. And I just did T-Cats. So Matthew says bark map, east end of my street off Bauman Road intersection. It's a 911 AM by casual record. And Christian says, years ago, one of my next door neighbors had two Boston Terriers that spent most of the evenings in the backyard. They used to bark a few times a day, each time a person. And it wasn't too bad. I got used to it. But the neighbor I got after the neighbor with the Boston Terriers moved. I get used to the quiet of no dogs at my next door neighbor's house. Kitten says daily barking always in the morning, somewhere between 4:30 and 6:30 a.m. and several times during the day. There used to be two at the same time, but I think one of them died recently. And random other barks. Okay. Hey, Seth Rick, good to see you. Christian says, my new neighbor's got a Yorkshire Terrier. Every time it sees someone walking on the sidewalk, it barks hysterically like it's being tortured to death until the pedestrian is out of sight. I know AJ had to deal with Yorkshire Terriers as well. He did a video. Rock says these shit bulls are illegal in my country too. Still, the breeding takes place illegally. That's the whole thing, even if they try to ban them, you know, but it's a step in the right direction. I don't know. It'd be better if they enforced it, and they generally don't. And doesn't that make them more angry? A-Star says about taking off the balls. You'd think, okay? And Seth says, I'm an amateur astronomer. I was in the yard watching Orion rise, and a dog started barking at me. I just commanding it to sit and stay and telling it no, much to my neighbor's chagrin. Yeah, I've tried that, and sometimes they'll yell at you, and sometimes they'll get the dog and fucking put it up. Breeding for cuter, dumber, and fiercer. Doesn't it sound sinister? Yeah, and these are the same people, Rock, that claim to love these things. And the cuteness is disgusting in our eyes. And it's true. It's true. I don't know what's up with this Rhoda or whatever, but she's putting up weird links. So Isabel Asher, keep an eye on that. Osama bin Sassen, great name. South African here. Dog culture is in full swing over here due to the consumption of American culture. Was busy with exams 2 years ago and always cried myself to sleep contemplating killing the mutts. You know, and Osama, I've talked about this a couple times. We did, you know, we set the pace for a lot of things. We've spread our fast food all over the country, or the world internationally. We have spread our love for dogs and for owning pets and all of this shit. And it's terrible. Hey, do your thing, Asher. I'm just glad we got to see you. You know, so it's fucked, guys. It's real fucked. So I'm going to cover another story, and then we're going to hop into this Yap Map thing. This is really important stuff. As usual, I will be putting the links into the description by at least tonight. Okay, so this came from the 19th of December, 2021. HR 5828 would mandate allowing pit bulls in federal housing and HUD rentals. That's what we need, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I've got a lot of opinions on this, so I'll try to keep it simple. Shame on Larry Gross, president of the Los Angeles Animal Services Commission, for introducing and lobbying for endorsement of HR 5828. Okay, with the misleading, if not intentionally deceptive title, Pets Belong with Family Act, rather than the actual descriptive intent, which is pit bulls belong in low-income federal rentals and housing. Guys, I'm not trying to be a dick here. but I'm gonna be a dick. So, as I always say, I try not to be an asshole, but I am, so it's easy. Um, you can't even afford to take care of yourself. I'm not talking shit. I've been there. I'm there right now. Do you see me fighting to have a pit bull in the house? Am I spending money on ridiculous things that we don't need? You don't need to be worrying about having a fucking dog, let alone a dangerous one, in a highly populated area jammed into free housing. I just, oh God, just how, yeah, I've got so many things to say. Moving on. Gross is the head of tenants' right organization called Coalition for Economic Survival, identified in Wikipedia as a charitable organization focused on tenants' rights in low-income housing, and that its method is lobbying. Its partial description states CES works in the greater Los Angeles area and working to influence policymakers to improve the lives of low and moderate income people. Does that include lobbying as the president of an LA City Commission? Here's the description of H.R. 5828 directly from the bill. To prohibit public housing agencies from imposing breed restrictions on household pets owned by residents of dwelling units in public houses and for other purposes. The bill mandates that pit bulls and other animals are designated dangerous only on exhibited behavior, which means they have already seriously threatened or attacked someone. There's no indication of who will evaluate the actions of the dog or what legal procedure will be needed to permanently remove a dangerous animal, which is personal property, or the expense of enforcement of injuries. Yet 34 members of the U.S. legislature signed onto a bill which is devoid of detail in support of possibly a quid pro quo arrangement. This is a fucking agenda. I don't care what anybody says. HUD rentals and other federal housing currently have longstanding restrictions to protect tenants' safety and have prohibited dog breeds with a propensity for violence. As they should. You can't even afford to take care of yourself. There does not seem to be any objection to this except for by LAAS Commission President Larry Gross and the major animal or legal organizations behind it. Shouldn't Gross have stepped down from his presidency of the commission, or at a minimum, rescued himself from promoting or voting on a measure which he can financially benefit? Shame on LA Animal Services General Manager Dana Brown for recommending the Animal Service Commissioners support H.R. 5828 and summarizing in her report, the Pets Belong with Family Acts would remove these overly broad and unfounded barriers for residents of public housing, ensuring that no one is forced into housing instability because of an unnecessary breed ban. This bill omits the fact that no one is required to own a high-maintenance pit bull or any other dog if they can't afford it, and they should especially not be encouraged to adopt or purchase bully breeds if they have housing instability. Placing these dogs in crowded housing situations is not fair to the other tenants who have smaller dogs often victimized and needing expensive veterinary care that they cannot afford, or are themselves injured in an attack, or have children who are mauled and maimed for life. This bill would place the most vulnerable and least likely to be able to afford extensive medical care deliberately in close proximity with pit bull owners who cannot afford the expensive insurance to cover potential damages inflicted by a dog obtained as protection in low income, high crime areas. Will this affect private property rentals? The Housing Choice Voucher Program is the federal government's major program for assisting very low-income families, the elderly, and the disabled to afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing in the private market. Since housing assistance is provided on behalf of the family or individual, participants are able to find their own housing, including single-family homes, townhouses, and apartments. The participant is free to choose any housing that meets requirements of the program and is not limited to units located in subsidized housing projects. Okay. Oh my God. I'll tell you. And I'm just going to end that there. We've got the gist of the story. Let's see what's going on up in here. Ah, jeez. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see what this Rhoda girl does. I'm really not sure what she's up to. There's homeless people in my area that are dog owners, as Isabel said. Please do, Asher, while you're around. And I'm not sure about the troll, but Isabel and I will take care of it. You do what you need to do. Yeah, this is fucking unreal. It is. This is shitty stuff. It's the best way of putting it, Matthew. Seems like they're making more and more pit bulls, Christian says. These dogs are likely to disable or kill someone. Many of these dogs have no violent history. Legal murderers. Exactly. So let's cover the Yap map, guys. I want to talk about this. I'm really excited. My kindred spirit from Tucson sent me this, and I'm very, very interested in this. And after I'm done covering this, I will end the poll. This is called the Yap map. They say, stop neighbor's dog barking anonymously. We can put an end to it legally and anonymously. Visit the map page. Look up or provide the neighbor's barking dog home address. You have the option of submitting it to the map, which will be visible for the world to see while we work with them to quiet their dog's barking to prevent fines and citations from law enforcement and animal control. We place phone calls alerting them to immediately quiet their dog anonymously. One, simply register or log in, Look up and provide their phone number or address. We handle the rest. You remain anonymous. Each time the dog barks excessively, bark back. The owner quickly gets the idea. Every bark back call submitted is documented under your account and profile with the time and date stamps and even audio and video recourse if needed. Okay? So they got the little map thing here. Nice, simple little website, and they actually have a YouTube video. And this is very interesting. I like what they're doing here. I do. So let's see the About Us section. Okay, they're an interactive community project allowing neighbors a method to communicate and share relevant local information within their neighborhoods. For the focus of resolving noise disputes between neighbors, YapMap allows registered users the ability to point out specific areas of concern, viewable on the map. For example, if the Jones are tired of the Smith's dog barking all day long, they can simply register on YapMap, enter the Smith's address, or locate the Smith's home on the map. Submit a violation of noise ordinance complaint. A barking icon will be placed over the Smith's address on the map until the barking stops or is at least legally acceptable. While the icon itself won't do much except show the world that the Smith's home is logged as a noise violation on YapMap, it does bring focus to a valuable discovery tool for real estate buyers and sellers within that particular neighborhood. Nobody wants to move next door to constant barking dogs and neighbors lacking enough sense to bark train their pets for the good of the community. Once registered on YapMap, you can submit a noisy neighbor's home. Our office then begins mediating with the dog owners too. Notify them of the noise violation complaint. Send USPS certified mail noise violation legal letters. Send legal copies of local noise ordinance statutes from their jurisdiction. Refer them to our help center website to help correct the barking problems and immediately update them of future barking occurrences or resolutions. If by chance the neighbor has not yet corrected the nuisance to your satisfaction or to the letter of the law, additional letters are sent out at your request, each one an increasingly aggressive legal ease. By law, most jurisdictions in the USA require documentation of each noise disturbance. We do that. We record, document, and create an online journal of your account. This is at your disposal to simply log in, and click a button each time the dog barking is excessive. If the letter fails to resolve the issue, each subsequent letter informs the violator, animal control, and their local police department of all journaled barking nuisance activity. Finally, a way to get peace and quiet around your home. The YapMap project can be your solution. Don't let another day go by listening to noisy neighbors' dogs. Although enrollment takes a minute or two, snail mail from the U.S. Postal Service takes a few days for the violator to receive the certified letters. Our backpack option can give you peace of mind within a few minutes. While the barking's driving you crazy, hit the bark back button. If you want instant calls made to the violators, letting them know how to quiet their dogs down now, every call is documented in your online journal, arming you with the documentation needed for recourse. Bark back calls can either be one-time dials or a block of calls to use at your disposal. It's a quick, effective way to get the message across that their dog is creating headaches in your neighborhood. They won't know who complained, and as you remain anonymous through the YapMap experience, a barkback call costs only $3. But if you want added peace of mind, purchase a block of calls. It's a lot cheaper that way, and we'll even refund any unused calls once the barking stops. Interesting stuff. I mean, it's definitely worth a look. And like I said, I will throw the description up in the link, you know. So let's see what you. Hey, Orc. Good to see you. Thank you for the links, Asher. Really appreciate that. Billy Bob, what's up? Long time no see. Been way too long since I could attend a stream. Been insanely busy with work. And Arish, my neighbor had a bulldog and then he disowned the bulldog. Well, good for him. Matthew says makes the police dismissive to minor crimes, provides the chance for a wide range of public disorder, etc. Orc says, I have 20 houses on my street, both with large fenced yards. I dread what's coming. 2 empty houses, excuse me, I spoke out of term there. Rock says, last year there was a foreign worker got attacked by a pit bull here. The owner hid away. It maybe sound common to you, but here shit bulls are illegal. Osama says, I feel sorry for my fellow dog haters who live in the epicenter of dog culture, America. Thank you, Osama. It's bad in the South. I never thought I'd say that. It's bad in South Africa. It's probably unbearable over there. I hear they carry mutts and baby strays. They sure do. And wipe their asses with wet wipes and all kinds of disturbing stuff. It's 8 p.m. in India, Arish says. Well, cool. All right. The poll should be on your screen. I don't know why it's not there. Usually it kind of just pops up, but I'm ending it now. Only 11% of you say that you don't have to deal with your neighbor's dog barking all the time. Okay? So, good for you guys. India, the monkeys reign over the mutts. T-God says, I'll have to check out the Yap Mat and see it. It's good everywhere, apparently. Okay, see you later, T-Cat. Huzzah to the monkeys. All right. My neighbor had a bulldog. Then he disowned the bulldog because he was a smart dog owner, not a dumb dog worshiper, blaming children for being bitten by the bulldog or any other dogs. Good, Arish. I'm glad to hear that. Definitely give the Yap Map a mention. It's worth talking about. It really is. So we're going to cover a little bit more stuff here. Let's see. So this is one from Moni Tony. I had some help from Christian, from Vox, from TCAT, from we'll see what all I get to today. And this is Moni Tony. I find this very interesting. International shark attack file versus dog attacks. All right. In 2009, there were 31. Okay, and this is from the Florida Museum. All right. And this is a comparison of shark attack fatalities with dog attack fatalities in the U.S. between 2001 and 2010. 2009 with 31 dog attack fatalities. I think it was a little higher than that, but we're just going to go with the numbers. Only 7 shark attack fatalities. 33 in 2010, only 3 shark attack fatalities. 32 to 13 in 2011. 2012 holding at 35 dog attack deaths versus 7. Okay. And they go through this in the 30s and very few. And at the end of the day, by 2018, they've come to a total number of 349 deaths. These are just dog attack fatalities versus only 65. Okay. 65 deaths from sharks in total. Okay. So the numbers speak for themselves. And this is over a 9-year period. And I love how people bring this kind of shit up too. They've got to be like, yes, thank you, Z Oliver. Good point. Liking the video helps it get out there and be seen. So please like the video when you get a chance. We're much appreciative of what you're doing. Thank you to everybody that keeps sending me different stuff. So I had to share this because it's really fucking frustrating. This popped up in my emails. It's a change.org petition. A lot of petitions. They got a lot of petitions going around pretty regularly. And they don't get a lot of signatures for many different reasons. This is fucking mind-numbingly stupid. Oh, Bella is a senior biology major who happens to be blind and would like for her guide dog, we're going to use the dog's name in this so we can keep track, O'Hara, to receive an honorary diploma on graduation day. O'Hara, internet famous as the goodest girl, has attended every class, lecture, and lab with Bella for her 4-year-long college journey. According to Bella, O'Hara has opened up her world and deserves a diploma as much as she does. Help O'Hara get the recognition she deserves by adding your name today. This fucking petition has 21,000 433 signatures. It was started. Oh, fuck. I seen the date somewhere. I believe it was only started on like the 17th or 18th or something. Someone just kill me now. God damn it. The dog doesn't deserve a fucking diploma. It's a dog. It's bad enough that it's in the school. Why don't we give an honorary diploma to all the kids that have to be in class with the dog that have to get through class and graduate with a in the classroom? How about that? Oh, great. My connection's unstable. So with that, we're going to have to wrap it up because this is the time of day that my connection gets all fucking unstable and unsafe. And so we don't want everything lagging. So protect yourself. Get your steel toe boots. Use the Yap map. I'm going to put the description up. Has up and vanished, Orc says. Nice. I agree, A-Star. What about the people that have to put up with this thing all day? What if I was, going back to college? I'm not that old, fuckers. I can do it, you dorks. It didn't do the exams. Doesn't deserve a diploma. Thank you, kittens. This is madness. This is utter madness. I could rant about this all day, but I'm gonna shut the fuck up and go get ready for this job I need to do. And before my unstable connection gets Jesus Christ. I can't, you guys. I can't. Arish says today a dog went mad and had bitten 3 people. So many people killed that dog in my hometown. So, Arish, I'm glad that you still live in a place that's full of common sense. I'm glad you aren't here. Let's see. Oh, I'll put up the Facebook link. I think Asher did as well. I'll throw all the descriptions in later. I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you to our moderators. Thank you to Kittens. Kittens has some Dutch Facebook groups, and I've been trying to get the link from her. I know we've both been busy, so I want to try and share that here soon. To everyone from all over the world that joins in, you are appreciated more than you may ever realize. Fuck Fluffy, right? And until next time, keep yourself safe, take care of yourself, protect your family, protect our children, and speak up against this dog nuttery. Speak up. Let's not sit quietly anymore. So, until next time.